So when I attack here, he's gonna get a gloom, and then Vex is going to duplicate it, and then it's gonna technically be 2 gloom, right? So what's gonna happen is that on attack, gloom, it triggers the fury, and I could just go shoop-whoop, dead. We attacking. Gloom. Vex is bad, you said? I should do what? I should do what? He's like, Dad, damn. It's beautiful. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Jinx Did Nothing Wrong. And today we are doing our very first POC champion guide. I wanted to make this a video because I feel like people were giving Vex, they weren't giving her due deserts, right? And trust me, I just want to say right at the beginning of the video, there is going to be butchering of the he and the she's, all right? I look at Vex, I think a dude with a hoodie. I'm sorry. it reminds me of a dude with a hoodie. But it is a girl. Yeah, so if I butcher it, leave me alone. I actually recorded another part of this video first because I wanted to show something, and you guys are going to absolutely love it. Stay tuned to the video because Vex is a dragon. All right, there we go. Just direct. She's the best dragon in the game. Absolutely the best dragon in the game. All right, so let's start off by just explaining what she does, the star powers, and I'll go into the starting deck, but I feel like we already kind of touched on that. But going in the future, I probably will do this in a different way. So yeah, let's just go straight into the nitty gritty, right? Which is psychological warfare. Your spells and skills damage enemies in the form of gloom. This is so important because in ways, obviously it helps and then it also harms, right? One thing that I wanted to point out is like things like drain, right? Drain will not trigger, right? Drain is deal damage to heal yourself, right? So drain won't trigger once you playing with her. So that really kind of sucks because drain is like a really cheesy thing. Not that she has it in the deck anyway, but obviously with this passive, your first instinct is immediately to get spells, right? To get spells or units with skills that deal damage, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I picked up a drain spell, I'm gonna get some healing out of it. It won't trigger. It just won't trigger. It's very strange how it works. I need to do some more testing as far as seeing how it interacts with the units that if they damage is dealt to them, they gain stats like I forgot the unscathed, the unscarred, whatever those people. I got to do a testing. I'll do it later in the video just to see like how they work with that. But it's a good thing because you can put gloom on stuff. As you guys know, regen is completely destroyed by it. Tough counteracts it. But at the same time, if you can slip it through, which is funny, I feel like people aren't like mentioning in the starting deck, is that you do have ways to just put gloom on stuff. You have the family reunion, you have the grotesque gift that only does it once, which kind of sucks. But you have ally or ally, you have Vex herself, and then you have Grim, who is actually a nuke, which is insane. A 6 cost 8/4 that gives something -4/-4 is absolutely stupid. And I think that you got to give it credit. And hey, I complain too. But having this as a Titanic unit is going to be definitely part of our analysis. All right? I know it's analysis. Shut up. All right, so next up is going to be Looming Darkness. And it says, if you have the attack token, boost all enemies. It would have been crazy if it just said boost all units, because then you can at least have some spirit and it works. You do have a spirit unit, 2 spirit units I think in the deck, maybe just 1. This is just the beefcake mayor, but that's it. And then if you want to get frisky with VEX, sorry, it's a song. All right, this is really where I feel like you need her to be 3-star. There's some characters, and let me just back out for like 2 seconds. Like there are certain units that you really don't need their 3-star. Like the 3-star is like a cute kind of cool thing. It's attached. I've had people like, let's just go with the devil in a tight dress. Vi, like literally you could be like, yo, she doesn't need her 3-star. You just 2-star and kind of leave it there. It's not really that much worth it. There's a lot of characters I feel like that are like that in the game. And of course that's obviously opinionated. You be like, yeah, I don't need this. Like I did Lux Illuminated. I think, wow, she's amazing at a 1-star, 2-star is just like a chef's kiss, and then you might not say that she needs her 3-star thing because of how strong she is, and I could see that. Like sometimes you don't really need to 3-star them, but for Vex, yeah, she needs to be 3-star with the quickness, with the absolute quickness. She needs to be 3-starred. You definitely need that passive that it boosts every single round. So you can pretty much put gloom on a unit, and this is how you're supposed to play her, is that you put gloom on literally anything. If you can put gloom on it, just put gloom on it. It will start to slowly decay into nothingness, and that's kind of what you want. that is literally what you're looking to do with her. So when it comes down to the starting deck, obviously the only thing you have is Pie Toss, and then you have the Perilous Pastry, and that will actually give you a couple instances of damages, and then it gives you the option. And like, I know that people are saying, and I feel like I still agree that I don't think that there should have been more things here. You just have to pretty much go and get it outside, right? You have to go find the skills, you got to go find the thing, you have to do that. So it gives you flexibility to do it however you want. Like, you don't have to build on it, but I do think that there should be more options like in the deck. But like I said, there are other ways to just give gloom within the deck itself. It's just not through damage or skills. So it just kind of changes. It's a passive that changes how you do the run. They could have gave you the same thing as Morgana has, where you just target the enemy and they get gloom, and then that would have been 20 times better, right? Would have been 20 times better. But the difference between that is that they're just restricting the unit from attacking. You're doing it in a different way. So I understand why they didn't do the same thing with Morgana. I also think that they would have been like, oh, it's the same thing, let's not do it. So let me also show you guys, let's also go through a really more in-depth look of the relics, right? I want to start all the way at the bottom of just commons. These are the commons I don't have, so I'll have to go back here for any of the ones that I don't have. So the Dream Eater, no. So I'm just gonna only mention the ones that I think are good. I just want to say that right now. And I actually think that the Z Drive prototype, I feel like a lot of people sleep on that. Do you want to waste a slot on it? Probably not. But just if you have a character that is run specific, right? There are a couple characters where I think that it is more important to get good stuff in the run than it is to put on their character. They don't have many options. And if VEX, since VEX is literally looking for certain spells and you need to bump up that spell, having extra rerolls in the run actually, to me, is really beneficial. So I think that don't sleep on just putting one Z Drive and having two really strong other ones, and then just having the Z Drive prototype. It literally could win you the game, just saying. I'm gonna also mention this one, the Grand Duelist Blade. Obviously, there's a one that you can get everything challenger, so you probably would put that. Quick attack is actually not that bad. I feel like these two are not like that crazy, just because, and this is just me talking about like, hey, if you don't have the blue slot, you don't have the purple slot, these are some good options for commons. It's because pulling a unit that you know you can fight or beat, or that's going to be gloomed and that's going to have less attack and defense, then maybe that would be good. And same thing with quick attack. After you gloomed a couple units, you could quick attack and they can't, you know, you'll win the trade, so they won't do it. So I do think that that's pretty good. Lost Chapter is probably one of the better of the commons, right? Because it refills your spell mana, allows you to play certain things. And as you can see, spoiler alert, I'm definitely going to be suggesting that Chemtech duplicator once we get into the blues. And you know, if you play it later and then you can boom play a 3-cost card that gives out gloom, or that's going to give out gloom, I feel like it's way better than it's going to duplicate, right? And then this one, I guess, is decent. Gwynso's Rageblade, I feel like, has always been a cool thing for the early starts. You just get more stacks as you're attacking, and you just keep attacking if you can. But, not the crazy. Same thing with Banshee Veils. I think Banshee Veils is amazing. Just gives you spell shield. Allows the champion to have a little bit of extra protection. And that is going to be it for the commons. Let's go over into the blues. Now, Wicked Harvest here, I just wanted to mention it just because of something that I'm going to mention later about Fury, is that it would actually trigger Fury if you swipe it around. Then that would be cool. But yeah, that's I don't think you want that. Evolve, I love the Evolved Voidborn Carapace. I love it. I love it. I love it. It doesn't really work too much because when it grants its keywords, when something dies, it grants keywords, you're only getting one copy of Spirit. So like, you shouldn't get, like, if something has like 20 Spirit, you're not getting 20 Spirit. You should only get 1 Spirit. But each thing that dies with Spirit, you would get buffs off of it. So it allows the person with the Voidborn Carapace to actually scale, and then it gives that one Evolve, so he has Fearsome, and as other things are being summoned, you would eventually then just get Evolve, which is just, I think, +2/+2. But you also get really cool keywords, and you could end up getting Fury. And I trust me, you're gonna see why I'm talking about Fury, because Vex actually can do some crazy stuff with Fury. Let me just keep going. I do like the stash. There are a couple units in the deck that actually have impact, and then they can attack first, and then you can impact, and then you can get Vex for a little bit cheaper. Now, I just think that Vex is so strong on the board and attacking and giving gloom, and it kind of changes the whole strength of the deck when she's on the board, when she actually is present on the board. So I do think that cheesing her out, reducing her cost, is definitely going to be an idea or something that you should be looking forward to trying to do. And then this card, I actually kind of like it. It's weird, right? So when I'm summoned, discard your hand and create that many pow-pows at hand. not that Vex's card, the starting deck, as we said, if you agree with the starting deck is not that great for it, then why not have it that the hand gets discarded, you get Pow Pows. Pow Pows do 3 damage to a unit, burst speed. That is 3 damage, burst speed, gloom, boom, right on your face. And you'll have a bunch of those in hands, and then you have to rebuild your hand a little bit. Fair is fair. But at the same time, what that also is, when Vex is leveled, that is her doing 6 damage, burst speed to a unit. You have to see value in that. I'm sorry, that is just really strong. Like really strong. I think that you'll see some people do a loose cannon payload build because it's actually way better than the other one. As I'm scrolling up, that I feel like people will always the Riptide Battery. I don't actually like the Riptide Battery at all on Vex. I think people were theorizing it. I'll have to see it. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, this one, Gravedigger Spade, is just, I want draw. And I do think draw is important. It always is. Grand General's counterplan. So her thing is Vex's Glare, right? So really good. This could, it's a non-damage dealing Gloom, and that is really good for Vex. I actually find that to be better than the damage one sometimes, because you can go through tough. You can go through, if it duplicates, you know, you're going through tough. And that's mainly the reason why I like it. It goes through tough. And all you have to do is get the Gloom started. Once you get the Gloom started, you are fine. You're great. You just need it to start. You just need it to start. And then, so if you have this going in your hand every turn, that you have a consistent way of Gloom. Since the cards in the deck are not consistently going to give you Gloom unless you, I guess, put cards in the deck that damage or skills, it is nice that when Vex is out, she just has something that generates Gloom every time, all the time. And again, with the passive, if you get the Star Power 3, you're always putting something on Gloom, or you just draw 1. It's a really solid draw 1. And since it's a regular card that can be found in a normal run, it is a really good, like, I'm just saying that because of, like, other champions are just like, you'll never see their champion spell because it's not there, but you can find this, add cards to it, and then add items to it, and we will be doing the items in this video as well. So I do think that, hey, now I can admit a really cool Vex Glare. It keeps coming up, man. It keeps coming up. The Collector. Theoretically, there is a way that she could trigger this with, you know what? Let me just go into it. Let me just go into it and explain it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be part of the Vex guide. This is something that I wanted to show that I found out in POC. I'm actually in the AI fights just to show you that this is something that can literally happen inside of PvP. It takes a lot to do because guess what? This card is actually rotated out. You cannot even Draconic Bands in standard. So I wanted to just show this real quick. And it is the boy Liberty, what is it, 1845? I was like, I don't remember the number. Hasn't uploaded in a while. But actually, I would like to know if he was okay, because he was actually a pretty cool kind of guy. I liked his content a lot. Hasn't uploaded in getting close to like almost a year. But he was the streamer that pretty much would upload his streams similar to like Snooey, and what he would do is that he would be like working on a treadmill or something like that. And I loved this video that he made here.
There is a chemist,
and it is the Elder Dragon Maiden, and this is when he puts the Draconic Bands on the Elder Dragon Maiden, and as the Dragon Maiden, Ember Maiden, Jesus Christ, as the Ember Maiden is actually doing the sweeps, it
and we have an Ember
counts.
Maiden.
And he keeps, yep.
There is a Rock Hopper.
There it is.
We have an Ember Maiden.
Talk to him.
Our Ember Maiden is about to slay both of them and get Fury procs off of it.
Talk to him.
Ember Maiden. Dragon.
And this, to me, spawned like I would say like maybe like 4 people like to make videos of the same thing. And I feel like I like to give credit where it's due. I feel like he was the one that kind of brought this to people's attention, right? Now, what's really cool, and this is something that I really want to showcase, and I can technically showcase it. You'll see it in a second. Hold on. Okay, so this should be pretty interesting. So I'm just going to give him Gloom real quick. More Gloom.
If I see a single balloon or cupcake, I'll barf. Oh, come on.
Now, he's going to die to this attack. Can't do anything about it, but this is very interesting, right? It's going to be 2 Gloom, right? So what's going to happen is that on attack, Gloom, it triggers the Fury. Do you understand why that happened? Talk to me, people. Do you get it? Do you get it? Now, as you guys know, Dragonic Bands literally just says that my bear is a dragon, but it gives Fury the keyword, and it's when I kill a unit, grant me +1/+1. So similar to the Ember Maiden, right? It's one of these skills that actually have to do with one of these skills that are attached to the unit, and that's similar to when you saw that he made one with Swain. As Nexus Strike, it's something immediately. It's not a skill. It can't be a skill. It has to just be something on the text of the character that just does something, and it will just immediately just kind of do it, and it has no, like, I guess, prompt to it. Another character that does this, and I actually did test this out, is Xerath, right? Xerath, when a landmarker is destroyed, he deals 1 to the weakest enemy. Him, this guy, he does it, right? So also here, when you destroy an ally with an ally landmark, deal 3 to the weakest enemy. So if you put Draconic Bands on Xerath, it actually will work. I've done it, but I was like, it was such a crazy setup. I never made a video on it, but Xerath actually works too. I was curious of how many other characters work with it. Now you're probably thinking, okay, but like, how the hell does Vex do it? How the hell does Vex do it? It is not Vex's first form that does it. It is only when he is leveled that he actually gains the ability himself to do something. What is he doing? He is giving. Okay, let's start this correctly already. It's a she. Okay, she is giving gloom. I promise I won't mess it up for the rest of the video. And if I do, harass me in the comments. Fine, do it. It's my fault now. She is giving gloom. Herself is actually giving gloom because of this ability here. When an enemy gains gloom, gain it again. So whatever that first value is, she is doubling it, right? So the reason why it is so crazy is that she, with Fury, if you give her Fury in any way, shape, or form, she starts to grow bigger and bigger. So it's just a really cool interaction that I feel like no one's gonna really find or think about ever. But since we are mostly transitioned into mostly POC content, like I said, I might do some PvP videos. I probably would have to stream it. But in POC, it's actually very easy to give Vex Fury. All right, now you see. So Fury with Vex is its own thing, right? So why I wanted to wait until the relics, not the relics, the items and stuff like that, and the powers that you can gain per run. But it's actually pretty nuts, right? So now you guys should have an idea of the fact that yes, this, I feel like the people never use the collector thing here, and because it's kind of useless, right? Like, because like, how do you guarantee 2 kills on anybody? She can if she has Fury. She has Fury and she gives out gloom. She can do it. Now, do you want to run the collector? I don't know, but this could give you a lot more money. Maybe there's you do an expensive run. I don't think you do it, but I wanted to mention it because I wanted to mention the Fury thing as well. I do like the level up one, so that's gonna be the Tempest Blade and the other one. The level up ones are pretty cool because she levels pretty quickly in her own deck, right? So, stun the whole board, attack. It's a freeze, it's a standstill, but she doesn't level up multiple times, so it's I don't really know. And then we have the Succubus Baron, same thing, right? So you can have a way to constantly summon out Husk because every time you're giving out Gloom, you're gonna, when she's leveled, she's going to basically she's gonna summon a Husk, which is kind of nuts, right? Because it will count as her killing a unit, right? So I think that is gonna be something that you guys are gonna be interested in, right? Pretty cool, pretty cool. Riptide Battery. So the reason why I don't like the Riptide Battery is you have to first trigger Plunder. Now I do know that the other build is that you use the gate builder. Where is it? The Curator's Gatebreaker, right? And then you can have it. You put this on top. You have to put it on the top so it activates first. It does activate in a chain. You put the Curator's Gatebreaker on top. You now have plundered, Merry Christmas, and then you play the Cannon's Barrage. Cannon's Barrage will do 4 of them, right? It will deal 2 to a unit. If it's dead or gone, deal 1 to the enemy nexus instead. So this deals 2. But the reason why I don't like it, especially if you have to use this combo, so Riptide, it would be Curator's Gatebreaker, Riptide Battery, and then something else, right? So you're setting up, using this, which -4, she's a 4/4, right? So it would hit 4, and if you have any damage boost or anything like that, you hit that too. Then you deal this, and then you're doing 2. I personally would rather just use the Loose Cannon Barrage. I can just play her, and then boom, I discards my whole hand, and then I have pow-pows like that are dealing 3 to a unit I actually can target. This is random. It randomly it just puts it on units. It's random. So I prefer that one. Plus, this Plunder only triggers when it's played from the hand, right? So I would much rather do this on Vex. I could sleep Vex and then change my whole hand again. Obviously, there is the same danger that I'm talking about, that you play Vex and let's say you actually have a good hand, then you might not want to play it because you know your hand is going to keep getting discarded. I guess that's the tit for tat, right? So just keeping that in mind. Next up is Luna's Tempest, right? So Luna's Tempest would be obviously really amazing for what I would like to do with it, right? Because if I had Luna's Tempest with the Pow Pow, with the loose cannon, those things are doing 4 and then upwards to 8 Gloom when Vex is leveled. That, to me, is where the value lies, my friends. Luden's Tempest with the Pow Pow passive is yeah, I think that might be absolutely giga nuts, right? So that's a build that I think it's not her definitive best build, but I do think that is a build that you could go, right? So we have the Challenger, which I said with all the Gloom going out, I do think that it's not that bad. I feel like people sleep on Lauren's Blade Rack when you, it's more for a minion based deck, which she is not, but yeah, I just thought it would mention it. We're not summoning that much. Keep going, keep going. These things are just, I feel like, always weird and awkward. You're doing like a more different cheesy build, usually on a lower end unit, so you don't really want to use that. There it is, Crowd Guard Inheritance when on level, Rally, I guess, because she could attack, put Gloom, level, and then you get to attack again. Not the craziest thing I think in the world. Corrupt the Star Fragment, just a really good one, but I don't think you want that. Now, Condense. Let's talk about Condenser, and then you have Chemtech Duplicator, which I feel like I don't have to spend too much on that, so I'd rather just talk about the Condenser here. The Condenser is actually nuts because creating a 1-cost copy of a card that's on the field, I have to go back into our deck, so we'll just have to, we're on the seas. Now, Condense is just an amazing card that you could maybe find during a run and then put it into your deck, but Condensing Grim, like I said, this is Grant 4, right? So you play as a 6-cost, or even cheaper because as you guys know, you have the Titanic stuff in there as well as like augments or stuff like that you can get. So you could get this as a 1-cost. It will still be for literally Grant 4, which again when Vex is leveled, 8 Gloom targeting. It's a skill. If they have tough, it doesn't matter. It's just gonna give you -8, which is absolutely insane. You can also pick up your Beefcake Mare, who then you could play again. Yes, he comes back as a 1/1, but at the same time, he'll start boosting himself and get stronger. Not the best play in the world. I do like this Grotesque Gift. You can play it again, then you can give something Gloom when they first play it again. So a lot of things, even the Conchologist, as much as we all hate him being in this deck, like, hey, what's up, guys? Is this the wrong party? But technically, playing him again, since it's a mana caster spell from your region that costs 3 or less, there are tons of spells in the region, just from the base region of Bandle City and Shadow Isles, that there is a ton of like spells, and then as you add other regions into it, this Conchologist starts to reach out and touch somebody, you know, like there's a lot of other cool stuff you can get. So pretty much a lot of the units already built in the deck would really benefit from the Condenser. All right, where we at? We're back. Yes, I'm going through everything, ladies and gentlemen. Archangel Staff, amazing, I think, just for the simple fact of you're drawing games out. Vex is not about, you know, winning in 2 seconds. It's about drawing the game out. So always having 3 spell mana, and you're pretty much, I would say, eventually, like, there's a lot of units in the deck, but you're going to be looking for spells. So you definitely want to be able to play your spells in conjunction with stuff. And then, like I said, if you have the Chemtech Duplicator, oh my god, Becky, yeah, you start duplicating stuff. And then something like a Pow Pow is not only dealing 6, it would then deal 6 and 6, and then that's 12 damage. Yeah, shut up. Like, like, I'm sorry. I'm all in on the Pow Pow. I'm all in the Pow Pow. But I think that's where Vex just becomes an insane control unit. And then you could, you know what's crazy? You can go Chemtech Duplicator, the Pow Pow thing, and then like Spell Shield, just so she can eat up a 1 spell and just not die. So yeah. Now we're going into, oh yeah, hold on. Let me just double check the blues from down here. Now, I've actually said this. This says play, grant enemies Gloom, right? So this would, if she has Fury, would actually trigger because it's just a play and then she just does something. It's fine. I do think it's a trap though. The reason why is that a play effect is something that, now if it says when I'm summoned, grant everything Gloom, I probably would even do the Pow Pow thing. I would just find a way to like spam summon her every 2 seconds. It'd be kind of cool, in my opinion. But the thing that I don't like is that it's play, so you only give Gloom, and they have to have a board out there for you to even like get value out of it. And I think that initially is not that strong. I feel like I don't actually know who the hell would use that at all because it's a play effect. I think that the play effect to me is just a bait. I've said this to someone in my comment section before too. I just feel like it's just a weird thing. Just the play effect just makes it not as good. Like, because you're wasting a slot on it, and all the other stuff that I said to me sounds stronger, and especially when we get to the purples, I think, yeah, like, what are we doing here? So let me go with the purples that I currently don't have, right? So lucky for me, none of these seem good outside of maybe the Disciple of Shadows, which is just an overall good. dealing 3 to allies, and then you sweep it up again. If you can magically get Fury, then she would get strong. You don't really need that. I just have to keep mentioning how it would play out. But yes, I cost 1 less for each ally in play. You swarm the board. She doesn't really swarm the board like that. For unfortunate, like, all these are kind of like goofball things. So when I'm summoning, create 2 random 7 cost card, like that's not what you really care about. I would have loved if this said when an ally or enemy gains stats or loses stats, it happens twice, and then you could actually gloom things. So Secret Technique is not in there. Spectral Scissors is just like an overall good, give me the money, you know, kind of thing. And this Beast Within, if they have subtype, I think, well, you have a Yordle here, so they get +1/+1, and then your other Yordle, I don't think you're doing that. So luckily I'm not missing out on this, and same thing with these. So I'm summoning, something crazy happens when I'm summoning, something crazy happens. Golden Spatula is going to be nuts. Let me spoil that. That's the guy that nuts on Lilia, right? Lilia would love Golden Spatula. Let me go back up here, start the purples. In-depth guy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not holding back. So here it is, Spirit of the Buru. So out of all the things that I've just showed you, right? I did show you that it's possible to get Fury. I'm going to show you that you can get Fury in a run. Yeah, you're going to see that in 2 seconds. But what's really interesting to me is that if you could reduce the cost of Vex, allies that cost 1 or less have Overwhelm, Quick Attack, and Fury. So if I were to do, you have the Pack Powder, or I can do Double Scourge, Spirit of the Buru, I can actually do that. So when I attack, Plunder will be triggered, and then she becomes a 0-cost card, and then she will then be officially a 1 or less unit, and I will get Overwhelm, Quick Attack, and Fury. It's more of a funnier way to do it because you're not guaranteed to get the power that gives everything Fury when it gets summoned. So it will definitely be a troll run that I will do later on because I just think it's really funny to have Vex come out as a dragon and then she just starts killing stuff. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Spellweaver Symphony, not that bad, right? Because when you attack token, you get a spell. That spell costs 0. That it's fleeting. That spell can do damage. It's RNG on RNG. I actually don't know why they made this. It's almost as if they made this anticipating to make Seraphine a Runeterra champion. It's like I feel like no one can really use this because it's just a random 2 costs that costs 2 from your region. It's like you have to go look at all the 2-cost cards and be like, yeah, like this is really good on this character because the regions are good. Like, yeah, no, I don't think that's relevant at all. This one I would have loved, but it doesn't have Fury on it, right? So Challenger, Tough, and Overwhelm, I really don't get. This is the one you get from ASOL, don't get it. And then you always, obviously, the Fear Cleaving Axe, really good, is because you get Spirit. So now Vex or anyone that has it can just start stacking on itself. When they attack, they boost all units. It's kind of what I wish her passive, her stage 3 passive was. So boom, she attacks. Anything that has Gloom is getting more Gloom, and those can again trigger off Vex. So this is probably her best, like, in slot. Like, I'm not doing nothing, just give me the axe, I'm good. That's the best one right there, hands down. It's just the best option right there. So you could literally put this and have rerolls, and I feel like that would just be just as strong, right? Put this and the other 2 are the Z drive, and you're good to go. I do like Echoing Spirit because it puts more Vex in the deck, 7 copies to be exact, and the champion spell costs 1 less. As you saw, the champion spell is 2, it would cost 1, and then you can get something other augment in the middle of the run, and then it will literally be a 1 cost, if not 0 cost, Gloom and draw. And then since you have so many copies of her in the deck, you can then play it again and just keep glooming and maybe even gloom cycling them, which would be probably really annoying for the opponent, but who cares, you're in POC. Death Foil's one that I got recently, and it's when I'm attacking, I don't take damage or die. Not that bad, obviously, because she attacks, and sometimes I don't attack with Vex because she will die. So you could do it, but I feel like it's such a weak. It's a weak purple. I feel like that shouldn't be a purple. If I'm being completely honest, it's so weak. But it's like, oh, if I don't have the stats and I want to attack, maybe, possibly. I feel like you could just find something that's a little bit more better suited for your character. So boom, we are done with the relics. Oh my God, it took for 8 years. 8 years in this prison. I told you I was going in depth. I really like this site. It's a League of Legends wiki. And it actually has a Runeterra one. I think Runeterra AR has one too. But I'm just going to be using this one. If you guys have a better one, let me know. But they actually have been keeping updated. And these are the little powers that you can get throughout the run. And I'm going to start from common, go to rare, epic, and then go legendary. And I'm just going to point out ones that are really good in a Vex run. These are going to be ones that you like, it's right here. Might as well talk about it. Some of them, they're like, this is a basic one. It's like, hey, weakest ally. Yeah, I get +1 plus. I guess that's a good thing if you have no other better options, right? But this one, the Blade's Edge, is insanely good. It's probably like if you see it, you just take it because you have a 1 mana card that pretty much the Blade's Edge here, deal 1 to anything. It's a 1 mana deal Gloom, and then it's 2 mana, and then if you have Luden's Echo or anything like that, this thing kind of gets out of control, and it's always round start, so you always have a way to give something Gloom. So I really like that. Disarm is just an overall good thing. It just makes them a little bit weaker. It gives you a little bit more time to stall, because most of the time the enemy, outside of like a Fiora encounter, they really are just winning the encounter by dealing damage. Vex is already reducing attack in many different ways, so just having them having a little bit less attack usually is going to go a long way. It helps you stall out the game. Dragon's Rage is what I basically want to tell you guys. So boom, granted Fury, and it's a dragon. The dragon part doesn't matter, but Fury in general, when it kills something, boom. So you could actually get this as a common, and that's what I wanted to say from the beginning, is that you can literally just make Vex a dragon without having to do the weird plunder thing that I was talking about. But it's a common, so you might come across it. If you see it, definitely get it. It's gonna, like I said, it scales anytime that she's leveled on the field and gives something Gloom. Literally, she's gonna just start to grow stats for no reason as you're just taking out things on the board. So it's just really strong. Enfeebling Strike just kind of synergizes with what you're trying to do. Everyone thought that the first passive, until they retconned it pretty much, everyone thought that it was gonna be like a stronger version in Enfeebling Strike. Enfeebling Strike 0.2, but no, that's not how it works, unfortunately. But still pretty good because you're reducing the power by the damage dealt. So it's similar. But it doesn't work with your spells, right? Your spells don't deal damage anymore, so it's mostly just like when you're attacking into them now, then they will lose it. So it actually has a little anti-synergy with the way that they have it. You don't damage them anymore. You actually just do it, which is the same thing. But when you attack into them, it will further reduce their power, if that helps you. If it helps you understand that, yeah. I want to mention Raid Party here, because Raid Party, when you damage the Nexus, there is impact in the deck, so it's a decent thing to pick up if you have no better options. And that is it for the commons. I can also mention the spell thing, because you're gonna have spells, whatever, but not too crazy. So yeah, those are it for the commons. Let's go into the next level. The lovely rares. Let's see if we got anything for the rares. Domination. I think it's a waste witness. Rally, I mean, the dominate, honestly, if you have Vex on the field, I think it's fine, but there's no other attack-based units that are doing anything. This is obviously really good if you have the Fear Cleaving Axe and you're going to start going crazy. So good when you have some setups. I actually would say not that great if you don't have a good setup already built in the deck. This is like a power you would go for later. Fast deal, pretty good because of draw. You need to get your combo pieces in place, so I like anything that gives you draw for free, pretty much. You draw pretty much 2 cards a turn. Anything fleeting, and there's a lot of stuff, if I go into the items, right? Anything like fleeting, then we'll just go back in your deck. So you could take that new, it's a new common that says reduce the cost of a card by 2, but give it fleeting, and then fast deal will allow you not to actually lose the card, which is really good. So if you see fast deal, it gives you more flexibility when you're choosing stuff with items. Pharaoh Pressing, this one is like, I'll take it if there's nothing else, because it just gives you a free look. But pretty bad against Lysandra, obviously, because you're wasting you wasted an action just to make sure your draw is a little bit better. Hold it and hold them off are basically the more standard stall-y things. So obviously pick them up. If you have a chance, there's no better option. Stun the strongest, that person's not attacking, or Frostbite the strongest, so they can't do anything to you. I think it's always been, these two have always been pretty good. Memory game, obviously, really strong because of the whole fact of what I've already talked about. You play a card and then you get that same fleeting card. If that card grants a ton of gloom, boom, you can do that. It's overall just, some of these are just overall good. I actually didn't know that Mystic Meditation reduced the cost of spells in hand by 1. That's insane. I never even saw that. I've never seen that in a run, but really good. If you can get it, hell yeah. Slow but steady. As you guys know, Vex's thing I've already shown is a slow speed spell. But the other spell that I feel like you see a lot in the runs is the AoE Gloom one, and then that would duplicate as well, and you can also do it. So yeah, this one's good. I feel like, does Vex have another... you know what's funny? Vex has... I just looked at the thing, is that she doesn't have anything else besides the Pie Toss, and then the second thing becomes it. But when you level up the cards, the second thing becomes Burst Speed, so... then you don't have that. Your spells cost 1 less, absolutely. Stabilize, pretty good, just because the double attack. It's a bad as a defensive. She's not good defensively, so if you summon it defending, you're just using it as a regular blocker, but attacking, you're giving 2 things gloom, and then it helps level her up, or it helps clear the board out, so that's pretty good as well. Best defense, obviously. Time and dedication, not the strongest thing in your wheelhouse. This one's good. She is 5 power, so she would immediately strike the enemy. Just an overall nice to have, I guess. And you guys know me, I love wild gifts. Your created cards cost 1 less. Now she has a couple created cards, right? Just the Pytos, the Conchologist, and if you give her Grand General's Pen, then you have a created card in your hand all the time, but not too crazy. So I would actually say you might want to skip out on that. Now we're going into the Urple. I definitely like Black Market Discount because of the Grim, the 6 cost card that she has. It also can reduce Vex, the other 4 costs. That's about it, but it's a solid one that just has no downsides towards it. So is good is good. What's good is good, right? Can't stop, won't stop. That's good for Lux is not her though. Elemental Winds, your spells and skills deal 2 extra damage. Obviously, you want that. That's actually really good. And we actually don't have too many keywords. I mean, you do, but you don't at the same time. I would not take evolution outside of just being a jerk. I would not do it. Little Buddies is a very defensive, most of the time, very defensive power. Definitely pick it up if there's no other better options. It will give you free blockers every turn. You'll have board space issues, but she seems to not really have too much of it, and like having the extra blocker will be fine. And then anything coming from the hand, you just overlap the crappy Poro, right? Mana Flow, duh. Out the gates. Okay, so out the gates only works good on the Grotesque Gift, but it's not going to do well on the Conchologist, so you don't really want that. Not going to be the best thing. Stacked against them, obviously really good. The first card you play is reduced by 1 or 10. That's an overall good thing. And that is all. This is just overall good. Gibbs Genius doesn't really work with the deck at all. And then the Legos. The Legos, I feel like, I don't know if I really like copy the first play you play. That's obviously good. Endless Wealth, obviously good. The level up one can screw you up because it puts a bunch of random stuff in your deck. Your deck might not be prepared for it, so I don't think you really want to do level up. That's probably the only one I think is bad. Giving all your things good. When something dies, it comes back, good. First spell you play, good. Like all these are just overall good. This can actually screw you up though, not gonna lie. Unstable inventory can actually mess you up slightly. Not by a lot though. And now I could do the items. I'd rather explain the items than to be like, you should look for this one. But certain items are good, obviously like cost reduction and stuff like that. Let me see if there's any item that I think would just be like maybe like an honorable mention of something. I wanted to mention this too because I like this website that it has things like deep, and I'm a sea monster, but this only appears if you have other deep units in the deck. That's very interesting. I didn't know that some of the items that pop up on on things were actually based off of what other units you have in the deck. It only appears on units with +3 base cost. Like it has like round end you'll never see round end the double time watch on a 1 cost unit. Like it has to have at least 3. Like very interesting. I didn't know that the game was coded to do that. It's actually a good thing, and that means that they could probably code other things to happen that they probably should. As you can see here, Fury, I'm a dragon. Yes, if it's on Vex, again, it's a pretty good thing. Everything else so far that I've seen is not like anything like it's like, yeah, you definitely want to put that. Like this is really cool. Like, yeah, quick strike blade. You should really like, yeah, she has an attack thing. Like, yeah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, nothing else, anything too crazy. That is going to be it for the Vex guide. We went through the items, how she works, everything like that. Hopefully you understand that Vex is the best dragon. And oh yeah, I wanted to show that one thing too. Hold on, give me a second. Oh yeah, I think it's important to test this out too. So I'm inevitable when one of foe's units survives damage, granted tough. So this would actually be able to give me both the thing about the Unscarred Reader plus everything else. As you can see, I'm doing what I said, my Duck Dizzle. I just discarded my whole hand. I kind of didn't want to do that. But let's just see what happens if I hit you. It counted as damage. Let's see. Your spell and skills damage enemies. So it does say it damages them. Okay. Fair enough. I mean, if you do regular glooming, it's still not as bad, but
I won't miss you at all, right?
and then boom, now you're gloomed.
It's not even my birthday! You're welcome.
So then we got 6 damage pow pows. I'm just saying. And this is I don't have the chem tech, so yeah. Oh, how perfect. Thank you. Goodbye. You might be seeing this pretty soon, I'm just saying. 6 damage pow pow. And I have a bunch of them. And then you, like I said, you just need something to help you like redraw. Oh, I hate this fight too. Oh my god, I hate this fight. And again, boost every single round. And I could just go, shoop whoop. Dead. We attacking.
Everything is awful.
Boom. Vex is bad, you said? I should do what? I should do what? He's like, Dad, damn. It's beautiful. And I'll also say that this is definitely a weakness because now without Vex, I really, I can't really pop off. I don't have the doubling thing. And then against I Am Inevitable, still pretty bad. So I do think that it's still rough to use her. You definitely still need to have like straight like power. Luden's Echo might like look a little bit crazier, but again, Luden's Echo is only activated when Vex would be on the field, right? So still need to protect her with all your might and have a champion that's going to do that. But I do think that we covered some good ground here. And as you guys know, it doesn't go through tough. Very unfortunate, but all in all, I just wanted to showcase that a little bit, but I do think that Vex is extremely strong. There's no way I'm beating this. not now. You know what's funny though about showing a little bit of that is that if she was a dragon, she would have survived. She was a dragon, she would have survived. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. What do you guys think about Vex after showing me a breakdown? Was there anything that I missed? Was there something that you wanted me to dig more deeper on? Did you want me to show more of the items? Like, I feel like the items are kind of like, if it's good, it's good. You know, it's not as, like, go search out for these because it's just random items. And I'm looking at the stuff, like, you know, there's really nothing too crazy. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below how you guys feel. I had a blast doing this, and yeah, I can't wait to do it for the other characters. I think that it's going to be completely different, you know, because they play differently. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.